Welcome, my fellow students, to our darker purpose once more. This is a bit of a particular case in which this is a run that is halfway through, right before the Regan fight, in fact. And the build just looks so good that I had to stop, and I was just playing for the fun of it, and I had to stop and start recording because it just looked really promising. So let's see how this goes. Okay, let's go into Regan's lair and dodge everything she has to offer, I suppose. Do have the, as you can see, I have the timekeepers, the Sindar's timekeepers here, something like that is called. That allows me to slow down time. Very much helps me to dodge everything very much easier, especially since I also have the weird potato battery that slows down projectiles all around Cordy, so that helps out a lot. That doesn't mean that I don't get hurt. Of course I still get hurt because I am useless, but you know, I get hurt a lot less than it's my norm. I think I've kind of reached my skill ceiling in ODP, and really, it is really not worth. It is not. Is doing a disservice to abbreviate that. So let's say our darker purpose. I think I've reached a skill ceiling where, you know, I do my best at dodging. I'm really not the greatest at it. I'm not awful at it either. I'm just kind of average, I would say. I'm okay sometimes. Sometimes I pull off some seriously cool moves. Other times it's just freaking ridiculous, like what's happening right now. Yeah, the success of runs, I feel, has a lot more to do now with the upgrades that I managed to get. It's just random. Sometimes I get something good, sometimes it sucks ass. And this time the build is amazing because, as you can see, my regular hits are doing like 120 damage each. I have the double shot if I stand still, which is pretty hard to do in the Regan fight. And also have the slowdown of projectiles all around me, which is amazing. One of the, I think, staple items in any successful run. You really need to have that too, at least for somebody that, like me, that dodges with his butthole. And by that I mean I insert a joystick in my butthole, and that's how I use the control the character. That's how that joke goes. Anyway, also have quite a lot of speed, move speed. I kind of forget the build that I chose to go for this, the upgrades that you choose, the lessons. This is, by the way, I'm sure you can figure out by now that I am doing this commentary on post after completing this run, so I know how it ends. Ha ha ha! I know something you don't, but you know, still pretty good run. So I figured it was worthy of commentating. I think here I went for the moves. Oh no, I went for the life. Yeah, okay, that makes actually quite a bit of sense because I think I had a build with lots of move speed already. I move around quite speedily. So try to go into the Capulets area. I think I intentionally ignored the gifted area for as long as I could because it's so much harder than the Capulets, which are on their own much harder than the Blarghs and the what are they called, the Woundwards. I guess it scales. Oh man, there's a surprise that the game scales in difficulty as you progress through it. But yeah, that's the build I have. I also picked up the electricity effect, and also you can see sometimes my enemies catching on fire. So pretty damn good damage build. Not so great for health. I just picked up a 50 health, and well, actually, yeah, it's really good with health. In fact, what the hell am I talking about? Because I've been able to upgrade my juice boxes by a lot. You'll see whenever I use one, which I use a ton of them in the Regan fight. Each one of them heals for 60, so I think I have the item that makes your juice boxes heal for twice as much, plus a few of those nice concoctions that you can see right here. A little bit of flash. I have 3 concoctions plus the double heal, I think. And I also have some resist. I think I also have some dodge. I am rolling with dodge. Like the lesson that gives you more dodge when you roll. Oh, and that's an excellent pun right there. Yeah, I forwent the teleporting quite a while ago. I think it's quite a while ago. I forget, man. Because I don't know, the teleporting is kind of weird, and it does have its downsides. While you're rolling, you can still shoot. It is very easy to control your character. I don't know, it's just the teleporting, I think, is more trouble than it's worth. So yeah, don't feel bad about foregoing that, and you get some nice bonuses when you pick the lessons to increase your roll speed and stuff like that. You're really speedy, so it's pretty nice build. I think I actually stick with this build for quite a while. I will stick with this build for quite a while. The build. So just keep on going through this floor. So luckily I also have that nice upgrade that allows me to see where the boss is at, which is not really that lucky because I more normally will ignore that and explore the entirety of the level. I must collect everything there is available. This room is pretty okay as long as there's cover. Oh, nice, a juice box. I think that's it. I'm just barely scraping by from here all the way to the end of the run. But I managed to get quite a lot further than I thought I would by the end of the Regan fight. I got to the threshold of the Regan fight. It's like, man, I'm going to cream this bitch. I'm going to slaughter this Brad, and it's going to be so great. I need to record this. This is becoming a really legitimate run. I was just playing for the heck of it. But this is going really well, so I'm going to record it. In fact, I think I have also that upgrade that gives you 50 damages you 50% more but gives you extra credits. I did not pay attention to see whether I have that or not. I guess I should have prepared better to do this commentary. But I think I have that because I was just playing for the heck of it, maybe farming a bunch of credits, see how far I can go. Because I enjoy our darker purposes, not just something that, oh man, I better just play this because, you know, I'm making a series of it or whatever. No, our darker purpose is a lot of fun. Just like I played a ton of The Binding of Isaac, I'm playing a ton of our darker purpose. I played a few runs that didn't go anywhere, just farming a bunch of credits, I guess. That's the only benefit that I got out of them. So I didn't even make them into an actual postable run, I guess, or official run. So yeah, I play this game for the fun of it. It's just that great, and I would recommend it to anybody that enjoys this type of gameplay. Which is pretty much just saying that enjoys The Binding of Isaac, maybe also enjoys a Nuclear Throne, types of games like that, the top-down twin-stick shooters of any description, really. Even you like Teleglitch or, I don't know, I guess you can judge by yourself once you see the gameplay of this game and say, oh, yeah, I will totally try it, or say, no, that's garbage, and I wish that you would just die for even suggesting it. It's up to you, I guess, but I would very much recommend it if you are into anything remotely similar. It does have its bad aspects. Everybody I've listened to critiquing this game is a lot about the hitboxes, which I really don't have much of a problem with. They are fine. The hitboxes are fine. What it does bother me sometimes is getting snagged on scenery. It is pretty annoying to get hit because you get snagged on scenery that you shouldn't. Like, it will stop you from moving on entirely, or sometimes I'll get stuck in a door and the thing I am running away from will actually come over and slaughter me, or at least hit me in the butt as I run out the door. Oh man, this room, I think I remember this room quite clearly. It was a huge pain in the ass. Anytime there's one of these guys, it's a huge pain in the ass. When there's two of them, it's just a freaking nightmare. It is just so damn hard to avoid their stupid electricity. They are there only for a tiny, tiny window for you to shoot at them. I'm getting a lot of damage done to myself, so I think I do have that lesson that gives me 50% more damage done to Cordy. See, it's just so bad. It's just so terrible. You have no real way to pin them down and start shooting at their faces. You have to just continue dodging around. It's so damn hard to kill these guys. I think I used up a ton of my own health fighting just this one room. Pretty sad. And it makes me actually wish for... Not wish for, but thinking... Maybe I should not explore the entirety. See, there I got snagged on the door. Snagged on the door. And that's why I took that little bit less of damage. And here I was wishing to get these good stuff, but I'm pretty sure I went for the disquieting draught because it's not going all that great. Or maybe I just purchased the juice box because they are already upgraded so much. Yeah, totally got that juice box because they heal me for about 40% of my health. If it's 60 health, 160, about 35% of my health, which is quite a good chunk compared to the dismal 20 that an augmented juice box will heal you up for. I very much like this type of rooms though, where it's just a bunch of thorn plants, nothing interesting going on, nothing exciting. I like boring and unexciting things in my video games, I will always do. And you know, these guys are pretty trivial, the guys floating on their stupid door. When they are coupled with a bunch of other things, I guess like every other enemy. But them particularly, the thorn plants become a thorn in my butt because it's so hard to get to them and deal with the other enemies in the level. I think this will be the last, yeah indeed, this will be the last room to explore in this whole area. Something that I am very prone to do, and is forgetting that I have the unused item. Luckily I seem to be using it quite a lot in this one. And once again trying to kill this guy is such a bother. Of course, get a bunch of damage done to myself because I'm worthless. I am a worthless piece of garbage and I deserve nothing but misery in our darker purpose. That's just how bad I am. Luckily I got that dodging ability with the rolling. Allowed me to avoid that last bit of damage, but yeah, I could have done a lot, much better. This room is also one of my least, or one of my most hated, because there's no cover, and you have 4 of these jackasses, and also extremely hard to land the hits on the one that you're trying to focus on. They just keep shooting those fires that they don't look that hard to dodge, but I always have a really hard time dodging those little fires that they shoot. I really don't understand why exactly I have such a hard time, but I do. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So here's the boss that I've never seen before, and one of the reasons why I thought, wow, this was an actually really worthy run to make it official, because there's a brand new boss I've never seen before. And that is plenty for me. And it seems to just spawn a lot of ads. And the moment you kill them, it'll spawn more and more and more. It's a really tough fight, I think. In my experience, not one of the toughest. There's been much worse. I can't think of any right now. That was a really good use of chalk, by the way. I've gotten a little bit better at using chalk effectively, he claimed. I was going to do the whole he claimed as he wasted some chalk needlessly, but that didn't work out. There we go, that's a much better. Yeah, it totally followed my enemy, and the hitboxes here, they are quite a bit smaller than you might think. You can dodge around those awful miniature dolls quite reliably. I didn't manage there, but yeah, it's many times where I thought, oh man, I'm going to get hit here for sure. Then I didn't get hit, but as you can see, it just keeps summoning an even bigger and bigger shield of stupid dolls, and they all explode when you destroy them. But you have to destroy them, because otherwise it will just spawn more. Or rather, you just can't get the shots through. It's really difficult to get those shots through the stupid dolls. And I think that's why the hitboxes are smaller than you would think that they should be. just so that some of the shots can slip through and it doesn't give you that much trouble. And we got the achievement out of that. We got Fog, which I checked out as really kind of worthless. It's not a very good, what's it called? A very good lesson. We're slowly discovering more log entries, and yes, I do have that bonus to the credits that you get, so I got a whopping 45 extra credits by finishing that level, which is pretty damn good. So yeah, I guess it speaks to the quality of the build that I have going here, that I was able to get this far by while getting damage 50% more. That will be the norm, so that's pretty damn good. Wow, my throat is really dry, so if you'll excuse me, we'll silently watch this gameplay as I take a gulp. That's much better. Yeah, we have a champion. I don't even know what the hell they call it. Mecha Dragon Dude, I guess. They're one of the easier ones. I mean, you wouldn't tell by the way I'm doing it here, but these champions are actually one of the easier ones to get. And then luckily I got an amazing upgrade there, and I got oh yeah, super lucky in that shot. I have the item that has a 5% chance of killing the enemy outright, so I got lucky there killing that guy. And I thought I had multiple shots already, but I guess not. Maybe I only have it when I am low on health. I think that's the case. And these guys are really tough, especially when there's a champion of these guys. They will create this wind effect. I don't know if it will show in this run or not, but they will create this wind effect, and it just moves you constantly through the room at random directions. It's really weird, kind of cool. I like it as a concept. It's a nightmare to put up with, but it's a really cool enemy. It's a cool champion doing something non-standard. Here I'm just rushing through and relying on the dodge to get to that stupid thing in time. And one of my favorite non-damage, non-useful items, really, is just nice to have. It's nice to see the entire level without having to worry about darkness, which is kind of a pain in the ass to put up with, but it's a nice mechanic. I do like the choice they made to make the game darkness as something that you want to avoid and have a harder time when it's dark and stuff like that, as opposed to just have everything be visible. It's a pretty neat thing to have in addition to everything else that happens. But yeah, having all darkness is a pain in the ass. Here, I will definitely pick the 20% attack speed, even though I probably should have picked the other one. I am almost at near death. I probably should have gone for the lower move speed plus, but I would have gotten 3 juice boxes out of it. It probably would have increased my chances at completing the run successful, even though it would have been kind of a downgrade, but you know, it would have given my character a lot more longevity. These brads are really not that complicated, as long as it's not too hectic of a room. It's pretty easy to avoid their attacks. They're not all that fast, and they're huge. It helps when the attacks are huge and not very fast moving. Yes, that helps quite a lot. Those tornadoes, though, they are pretty damn hard to avoid because they're huge, but they're also fast. They move just about as fast as the globes from the geography fans in the first levels. The Blargh levels, I want to say, or it's a wound. I'm pretty sure it's wound wards. I also have the item that makes the shots ricochet in different directions at the end of the range, which is pretty nice. It's a pretty useful one. Of course, it's random. It might be useful, it might be worthless, but for the most part, it just effectively increases your range, makes your shots that much more effective. And the ghost went down from here. I don't know if I actually noticed that or not. Yes, I did. So we get a nice memory room, which, you know, I'm not really that. Drink 500 juice boxes for that achievement. I guess we'll eventually get it. What was I saying? But oh yeah, and memory rooms, I don't know, they feel like a wasted opportunity. They feel like this should be, if not more beneficial to yourself, at least something that creates more of an impact, something more fun to go through, as opposed to just be a bunch of furniture that you inspect and maybe you get a log, or maybe you get a boss fight. That's it. I feel they should have they had a much bigger potential, like, you know, the secret rooms in Bind of Isaac. They'll have a whole bunch of different things. It could be a boss, it could be an upgrade, it could be anything, it could be just money, it could be a tool screw in your butthole, it could be all sorts of things. But here, not really. I'm almost dead, by the way, but if you look at the duration of the video, I guess you can say, oh man, he totally made it. Or did I? Maybe I have an extra life. Maybe I finished the run. It's like, oh man, out of spite, I'm just going to start another one. I'm going to do like Total Biscuit and put an anti-spoiler screen at the end of the run. So there. You can never know, because I'm just too crafty for you. Yeah, I guess I don't have that item that gives me extra shots while stationary. I only picked it up recently. I could have sworn that I was shooting 2 missiles at once a couple times. Here, we got a vending machine that I'm going to have to buy a juice box. There's no way I can buy anything else here. I mean, not just because I don't have the money for it, but because, you know, the juice box is what will save my freaking life. So, yeah. And, you know, the more I play our darker purpose, the more I realize maybe going into the gifted levels, I probably should stop exploring every room. I should just rush toward the boss and hope for the best, because I don't know, I'm pretty certain that I always come out worse for wear. That I will just be taking out quite a lot more damage than I am making up. These guys are, you know, they're kind of easy to deal with, but they are a pain in the ass at the same time, because there's only a tiny window that you can shoot them in the face. And beyond that, they are always freaking hiding, and especially when they are part of a much bigger team, and that's when it becomes really annoying to deal with these guys. You get that tiny window, and you want to get rid of them immediately because they're pretty dangerous. They create all this stupid AoE all over the place. But it's really hard to deal with them first without killing everything else that is around them. Or almost killing everything else that is around them. And getting a little bit lucky. We got a few juice boxes. There's another juice box there. Looks like we're actually going to pull through. So it's kind of a toss-up, really. Is it worth it going into... Oh, there's a nice shot there. The 14,000 damage because of that nice 5% chance of killing an enemy. It's a bit of a toss-up to... Is it worth it to explore every single room in gifted level? I will say it's definitely worth it all the way up to Capulets. You are making up, unless you're terrible, like myself many times. You're making up a lot more than you are losing. But when you get to gifted territory, most of the time you'll be just suffering a ton of damage and not really getting much for your trouble. So maybe you should be just rushing towards that boss fight and hoping you get through it. Then again, you know, if you're already scraping by like I was when I started this level, it's like, well, rushing to the boss will just get me killed. I need something to get through this. So that was the reasoning that I had when exploring this entirety of the level, which actually worked out. I got, I think, 3 juice boxes out of that. And here is a boss that I think we've seen once before. He is a total bitch. He is really, really difficult. As you will see, he'll have his triple shot. That's not a big deal, really. You can dodge it quite easily, even though I didn't. You can dodge it okay. It's really not a terrible threat. What is a massive, massive threat? It is the balls of thorns that he throws at you. The leafy overside, because they will spawn into awful thorn bushes that will make this boss fight an impossible bullet hell. So you want to destroy those thorn balls as soon as they spawn. And you know, it's really not that hard, not that hard so far. I can deal with 3 at a time, I could say I could even deal with 4 or 5, or even 6 at a time. Do you know how many he will end up spawning? Well, you're going to find out. It's a very long fight as well, because he has at least 50% armor. Like, he is negating half of my damage with every shot, which is really a little too much, honestly. It's discouraging to find a boss that ignores so much of your damage and spawns all these ads and creates so many bullets to dodge. It's a little crazy. I mean, at least he's stationary, so you're not going to have to aim that hard to hit him, just like with Virtuoso. But the difficult part of this fight is just keeping those stupid thorn bushes down. And here's what I kind of decided, you know what, this is crazy. I cannot kill this thing if I keep messing with all these thorn bushes. But then I was like, yeah, there's no way I can dodge that, so I have to continue destroying the thorn bushes or everything will be lost. So that's what's happening here. I just trying to keep down all those things, and as you can see, the shots on the plant itself, the boss itself, they go down drastically. I am not landing a single hit on the boss, and anything that lands on the boss is actually just by accident, by virtue of that extra random range that I get. He's starting to spawn 6 at a time now. It is impossible to keep up with all these thorn bushes, particularly since he's only halfway through. So it's not like, oh man, this is the tough phase where he's almost dead, so he summons all this junk. No, it's only halfway through, so you still have to keep down all these damn bushes. And yeah, it's mostly a really tedious fight. I do not like this boss at all. The design of this boss, it is shitty. That is what I'm saying about this boss. I ain't gonna take that back. This boss is shittily designed because it's just a really long, protracted, boring fight that you feel like you're just fighting against a wall that you cannot do a damn thing. Look at that. The boss health has not dropped in any significant way in the last possibly 5 minutes, because I just have to fight to keep those bushes under control. And once again, I'm like, I'm just gonna dodge. I'm going to be the best dodger in the world. I'm going to dodge everything that spawns. In fact, I'm going to wait until it spawns to shoot it, because otherwise there's no way I can take care of this thing. And here I think it was a mistake to ignore a few of the thorn plants. But pretty soon I'm going to get him to the final phase. What I'm assuming is the final phase, actually. Because I don't know if you can read in the frustration of my voice that this boss fight was the end of Cordy. But see, this is getting already out of control. But that's not all, because soon, very, very soon, man, that's freaking difficult. I'm out of juice boxes. Only have 44 health left, which means just 2 more hits and I'm dead. Still trying to keep those thorn plants down. And as you can see, he starts spawning greener leaves. Gee, wonder what happens if they reach a leafy oversight. Might they heal the freaking boss? No, possibly. Well, at least I got a new upgrade there. That's the fog upgrade that I don't even hover my mouse over or anything. But that's the build I was carrying. It's a pretty good build. I'm pretty satisfied with it. So maybe probably... Oh, there's the fog upgrade that I did not do anything about. And here's a weird graphic glitch. I don't know what's going on there. But we did get line cutting, which is pretty damn good. I'm going to go for that. And I think I'm actually moving the cursor, but the video got screwed or something. But it doesn't matter, it's just showing you the build. It's, I don't know what happened there to the video quality. But yeah, that was an awful boss fight. I really don't like that boss, and I hope to never encounter it ever again. And hopefully we won't, but we will see what happens. Until then, I bid you farewell.